Welcome back, folks. In this video series, I am taking you on a journey of a live build where I'm going to be creating a YouTube transcript service, and I'm going to make it free to my users, to my community. Now, let me first just explain the back end, how it all works, and then we will start to build out an API that I am going to make available to anyone that's watching this video free to use to transcribe YouTube videos. Firstly, let me talk about why I built this. YouTube has videos, and in those videos has captions, and there are lots of tools on the internet that transcribe those videos. You plug in a URL and you get back a transcript. Now, over time, YouTube is blocking lots of those IP addresses, and YouTube is also blocking many existing Python libraries that also transcribe YouTube videos. And the way that YouTube is doing this is by blocking data center IP addresses. And that's why if you run the same code locally on your computer, most of the time it works because you have a residential IP address. And for the tools that are working on the internet right now, a lot of those are using residential proxy IP addresses, and YouTube therefore does not block those. But over time, I think YouTube will block those as well. And you don't want to have to pay for those services. So what I've done is I've set up a pipeline on my own VPS that's hosted in the cloud, as well as a MacBook Mini that's running a process on a local residential IP address. And so therefore, I am able to bypass the YouTube blocks. Now, what I have here on the left-hand side, let's go and talk about all the different elements and make up this solution. So let's look at this component first. This is my VPS. And basically what happens is I insert a YouTube URL, okay, into my database. And what the database does, it then sends that YouTube URL to be processed on my Mac Mini. My Mac Mini is waiting for URLs to process. Once the Mac Mini has processed the video, basically what it does, it converts it to an audio file and uploads it to a what's known as a bucket inside a database, okay? Like Amazon S3, that's a bucket, okay? Now, once the database detects that a new audio file has been uploaded, it sends the audio file to the VPS, which is a Linux server, and the Linux server uses Whisper, which is OpenAI, to transcribe that audio and grab the transcript. Once it's grabbed the transcript, it saves it into a special directory, okay? And that directory is sitting on the VPS. It also saves the transcript in my database. And I can also query the system at any time to work out what's the status of the transcript using this little job here. I can say, give me the status, and it'll spit out the status of any job or how many jobs that are running. And the tech stack that's used is we have a VPS, which has Python, OpenAI Whisper. We have some Bash scripts running as well. We're using Node.js on a MacBook Mini. We're using some Python libraries, such as YT, which is YouTube download, FFmpeg to read the video files, convert audio, things like that. And then obviously we have Supabase in the cloud, which is our database, which is a Postgres SQL, and we also store in database buckets the MP3 files, the audio files that Whisper uses to transcribe. Now, why this architecture? Well, because, as I've mentioned down here, this architecture is necessary because YouTube is blocking data center IP addresses that try and scrape YouTube data. And I don't have to pay for any external services, and I can use my own pipeline, okay? I run the vibecodingacademy.club website and a private community that I also host on that website as well. And what I'm going to do is I want to make this available, this pipeline available to my community and anyone that's watching my videos on YouTube, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an API that anybody can call and basically take advantage of this entire infrastructure, right? And all the user has to do is register, grab an API key, and then send a URL to the system, okay? And then the system will run that URL through the infrastructure, this pipeline, and send you back a transcript. And I might grow on that later. For example, I may, from the transcript, give you back a thumbnail. It might be something that you want to do, or a blog post, or some changes to the title, or some keywords or hashtags. So there's a lot of scope that I might include over time. So you're going to watch me with this live build, and we're going to go through, and we are going to create a public API, a registration page where the user has to register, put in their email address and their name, and a page to create their own API key, and then be able to use the API that I create with the API key to then put any YouTube video through the system and get back a transcript. So that's going to be the process. So we're going to start coding now, and we're going to start that in the next video. So grab a coffee, grab your notebook to take some notes, and I look forward to talking with you in the next video.